next lesson on the politics unit that students will study. And it will be revisiting the theme that we have all the way through Key Stage 3 about how Britain is run, and the bigger picture of how power over the last 1,000 years has shifted from those at the top to those at the bottom. And throughout years 7 and moving into year 8, we've seen that gradual move from the king at the top of the feudal system, the checking of their powers with Magna Carta, the growth of the middle classes, the rise of Parliament, Parliament challenging the king with the English Civil War. We're now moving through to the Industrial Revolution. We've spent most of this unit talking about the vast amount of change that is taking place in Britain. We've seen that in our studies of those pictures, the transition from the rural 1750 to the industrial and urban 1890. Well, if Britain was totally transformed, the question begs, surely the way in which Britain was ruled and governed must have changed. And in rather typical British fashion, the answer to that was actually no. It hadn't changed. And yet, of course, the middle classes are becoming even more powerful and wealthy with the Industrial Revolution. They are the ones paying the taxes, but the system which governed the country was not changing fast enough. So we are going to look at how those political reforms changed, but also we're going to be aware of where we are in that process of change. Our system is continually evolving. We need to now maybe consider the voting age maybe not being 18, maybe it should be 16. Should we have fewer referendums or more referendums? And those questions. In this, therefore, we are looking at our political system and why democracy is so important and requiring the contribution of people who can vote and the fact that they need to. Please be aware, political literacy is not necessarily taught anywhere else on the curriculum, so this is very, very important. So your retrieval task, thinking about your learning in years 7 and 8, looking back and reflecting on political change from the medieval to the industrial age. So retrieval over this entire particular theme. A reading activity here, looking at some of the key events and making it clear here that there had been very little change. The Industrial Revolution created brand new cities. These cities did not have MPs to represent them because the boundaries of constituencies hadn't changed. Keywords, we need these matched up. There are the answers. Children can amend in green pen. Then what happens in elections and voting, and its information. Before an election, what they already know, prior learning, how the election day works, what happens after an election, what is the role of government today and how does it affect people's lives. Students can think and talk and understand that process. Next lesson we will look onto the particular problems in the electoral system before 1832.